Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to make this amazing C starter base. Yes, I've done this for Team C's. Donation link is in the description like always. Let's get on with it. Also guys, sorry about all the changes of my logo. I've just been experimenting with a few logos and I like the one that it is currently, and I hope you do because I think that one will be permanent. And also, I apologize for the horrendous quality of my previous videos. So, I've changed the entire floor to white concrete, and hopefully it'll be much better, so you can watch it way more clearly. Alright, first thing we're gonna look at is the floor for this base. This glass fog effect is super cool. So basically, this is 18 blocks tall, this whole big area with the glass inside of it, and there is 9 layers of glass in total. The way I created this effect is literally this. So we there's obviously the wall, and against the wall, every 2 layers I add a sheet of glass, and if you add, I'd say 8 to 10 layers would be the best. It gives this really nice foggy effect. This is another example of when you can use it with this lime stained glass and like a little tube of slime spitting out of it here or something into a big pool. And yeah, when you use this, I very strongly recommend that you use the same color that you're using for the glass for the walls here. So I'm using blue stained glass, so I will use blue concrete for the walls. It makes them look much nicer. If it's an off color, it really doesn't look very good. Also, if you don't have Optifine, or if you don't have this resource pack on, then this effect can look really bad because it has like a grid pattern. So there is a link in the description to a resource pack that has borderless stained glass. It is on Vanilla Tweaks. So yeah, if you're doing a build like this, I recommend that you use that resource pack because it'll look a lot nicer. Or you can get Optifine, that also works. And before we start on all of this stuff, some major changes that you can add to this is adding like a big bowl around, so it's like a giant fish tank kind of starter base. And I tried this. It does not look as good as it out in the open like this. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it just does. Also, if you're doing this in a survival world, I strongly recommend, again, that you dig a hole and add this in. It is more than one chunk, so you will have to dig quite a large area. But yeah, don't have this like big blue thing popping out there. Or you can, but probably terraform around it to make it look a little better. Okay, and the last thing before we get onto it is I will not be doing a tutorial for these fish. They are disgusting. They're very, very bad creations, and yeah, I don't think anybody wants to learn how to build this nightmare right there. Okay, first off, we'll start with this giant kelp here. All the blocks that you need are this lime terracotta, the lime concrete, and the green concrete. I have experimented with a few heights, and I think a reasonable height for this kelp would be 8 to 14 blocks. So here I've got 12 blocks high, and it looks pretty good. So yeah, for this, start off with like a big 12 block high or so of just the lime terracotta, and then add the little, I don't know what you call it, but like all the little bits of kelp poking out just any way you want with the lime concrete. And I do not think you should add one at the top, because I'm not sure why, but it just ruins the top of this kelp. And yeah, we pretty much have it here. And maybe under a few blocks add this green concrete. Of course it would be all the blocks if it was under blocks, but like just have as much variation between these two blocks as you possibly can. Okay, next up are these corals here. I have not used regular coral blocks because they will obviously turn to dead coral blocks, but there is another option. You can completely submerge this in water and have a conduit or something, but I've just used the closest things I can find to these coral blocks. So yeah, I've just got like a big plop of pink and blue blocks here. You create these just by literally spamming like this and then just shaping around it. Then you spam this. There, that literally looks like coral. And then after, you add some of the glazed terracotta of this form. Maybe it could be in the floors or something. And the main thing you want to do with this is try to avoid any patterns. For example, a zigzag with a bunch of, for example, like a zigzag up coral. See this here, we don't want that, so we will take away this block here and maybe add that there. There we go. After that, just chuck in a few sea lanterns for the lighting, probably not over there, and yeah, there's some coral. Oh, wait, what? How did all this rubbish get here? If you want to help me, like I just did, clean the ocean, then go donate to teamseeds.org, link in the description, and help Mr. Beast and Mark Rober out on their quest to 30 million pounds of rubbish removed from the ocean. Okay, back to the video. Next up is this kind of like loot pile just dumped on the bottom of the seafloor. So the basic, it's pretty much the same for all of them. You have a barrel pattern, make sure they're not facing the same way. You have a kind of barrel pattern like this, then chuck in some extra gold blocks there. Yeah, this is probably the best design, and I've experimented with some. Yeah, just chuck some gold blocks in there, and then a few sea lanterns, this, and there, you already have this gold pile that just got dumped on the ocean floor. This, if you want to make this a starter base for your survival world, this is also a good method for storage, since the upcoming thing does not have a lot of room in it. Alright, the final thing in this starter base is probably the most complex, but it still is extremely simple. All the blocks you will need are the regular prismarine block, dark prismarine, the pointed dripstone, the prismarine stairs, and yellow stained glass panes. To start this off, you want to fill in the floor of this starter base with a 2x2 area of regular prismarine, then build up with the blocks around it by not 2, by 3. Then after you've done that, remove these 2 blocks, add some windows, also remove these 2 blocks and add some windows there. Next you want to place some stairs like so, also on the inside like that. Then plop 2 on the top there, and there's a block I forgot to mention, sorry, the prismarine slab. Just get that to reach all the way around this build, and just pretty much it's the trim around it. And yep, fill it. Now fill in this, or if you want, you can have a bit more space here and just fill in this area that here. Then add 2 stairs like this and 2 pieces of dripstone pointing in front of it. Now add prismarine blocks in a pattern like this, except when you reach the back, add 2 here and then keep on going around the edges. After that, you want to add 2 high dripstone on all of the prismarine bricks that you just placed. And as the final touch, you can just add a barrel in there for some storage, maybe 2 on the roof and stuff. And yeah. Lastly, the dimensions for this giant box. I've made it pretty wide just so we can fit all of these small structures in here. The dimensions are 19 this way by 10 this way. And as I said earlier, 18 blocks high, and every 2 layers you add 1 bit of glass. Just in case you forgot, I'll show you what it looks like now. Yeah, and here we go. Basically, we have no glass, glass, no glass, glass, no glass, glass, all the way to the top. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you made it to the end, you're probably a big fan, and I do not have many big fans because I am lonely. And if you want to see more tutorials like this, subscribe and hit the like button. It'll really encourage me to do more content like this, and see ya!